Ja.
Oh, wir fahren weg, das ist ja doof. Da steht er ja da.
Wer essen kann. Hey. Wenn man so was machen kann, dann sind wir ganz schnell. Und hier ist guck mal, am Start, dann sind wir ganz schnell. Wenn wir
Wann du willst. Nee.
guck mal, die Vögel. Das Schiff.
Ja, oben die fahren aus dem AIDS oder so. Vom AIDS und haben wir hoch. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, weiter. Vielleicht noch jetzt weiter. Um 3 Uhr bis 12 Uhr.
Siehst du aber gleich, wenn er rauskommt.
Andere ist jetzt nicht. Nein, die Hints oder so brauchst du ja keine.
Ja, aber auf dem Schiff, aufs Schiff musst du wieder. Elisa, würdest du bitte hier unter den Kragen das machen? Soll ich helfen? Unter den Kragen hier das nehmen?
Kannst du das auch gleich einpacken?
Das Band unter den Kragen nehmen.
Rückschritt an der Seite siehst du das eigentlich. Das sind die kleineren.
Ja, die können passen mit
Und die größeren, obwohl die Geigen könnten uns am Schiff orientieren lassen.
selbst nicht so.
Vielleicht haben sie es nicht so damit. Weißt du?
Film!
Daneben aber noch größer.
Wir sind bei keiner Fahrt dabei. Schön. Willst du noch weiter? Willst du?
Wollen wir noch weiter?
Ja?
Ist es eure Entscheidung?
Nee, deine Entscheidung. Ich hab dich gefragt.
Ja, wir können noch weiter. Wir können noch weiter.
Restaurant. It's quite famous with the kids, young people. We got only one pharmacy here. That is called Olivia. It seems like a man, as you say. Maybe some of you want to know about the prices of houses. You can see this house here, right? I'll have this here after a few minutes. It is a kind of a greenhouse with a 5-bedroom flat in the back. It used to be a grass roof, but the new owners are trying to fix it because the seems to be a low tide today.
Hier gibt es aber nicht interessante Filme als die Berge hier.
Maybe haddock, and that is allowed, but you cannot fish out there and be selling the fish you're taking. So then you have to have a license to do that, quota or something. And this here right inside is a leftover from Norway and whale. And of course we have a lot of eider ducks swimming around with the chicks all around here. They are up and down here. Right inside you can see the duck. And here with the little one here. And I can't see any chicks from them. Yeah. Some scientists are trying to get to know something about this bird. Now they are making this small fence, feeling a little bit empty here without the birds. And then you can see the rambler. This is this tough bird. And, if you have a drone, you should never fly a drone near this bird. He will attack the drone. But that is only if he...
Come to the sailors' village. So this is the last step in the evolution of the Icelandic town before it becomes like a modern European town. These houses over here, they are called empty houses because for over a millennia Iceland had exclusively been a farming country. And farmers had all sorts of animals around the house. But we have this new class of people, the worksmen, the craftsmen, the sailors. And they had no animals in their houses, so the farmers saw that and they said the houses were dead, they were empty. So these were derogatively called empty houses. But the sailors, they were going out and collecting this. It's salted cod, and it was exported to Portugal. The sailors had the most difficult job of all. They had to go out into the Icelandic winter and storms in open boats, not knowing how to swim, and there are horrible accounts of them having to beat themselves and each other just to get some warmth. But they got this, and this really financed the evolution of the Icelandic town. This fish even ended our prohibition on alcohol, because in the early 20th century we tried to ban all alcohol, but the Portuguese, which were buying this fish, said, okay, you're not going to buy our wines, we're not going to buy your fish. So they immediately folded, the Icelandic authorities. When Iceland's nationhood was forming and this national consciousness was evolving, this was supposed to be on our flag and our sigil. So the British had the dragon, the Germans had the eagle, we would have a dead fish as our emblem. Next up, I'm going to take you to this old farmhouse. Here. First, I'm going to talk to you about our farm, River Farm. So that house over there is the only house in the museum that's still on its original foundation. The third house, it's from 1850. The next section is from 1890, and then the last section from 1912. Those are the stables. So the oldest section, the third section, that used to be the sleeping quarters before they turned it into a cow house. It looks really ancient, but my grandmother, she was born in the 1940s. She was born in a house like that. She doesn't move into a wooden house until she's a grown woman. And she does not remember those houses very fondly. Because although the turf is perfect for the Scandinavian weather, it collects the rain, it sheds it by the sides, it's a perfect insulator, so you don't need any open fire to warm the house, just body heat and animal heat. But it was rampant with disease like consumption. The next section is actually huge compared to other Icelandic houses. This is almost like a mansion. That's because this was Iceland's first hotel, or Airbnb. So that's how because Reykjavík is down there, we have Þingvellir up there, and if you're traveling to south of Iceland from all over, you kind of have to pass through here. So they could charge people and build this massive house. If you're going inside, I recommend checking the baðstofa, the sleeping loft, which really shows you how all Icelanders lived for over a millennia. Just from the smallest child to the head farmer, all sleeping in the same sleeping quarters. But the reason I stopped here and not in front of the farm is because they discovered something. So here and in front of the farm, archaeology students have been practicing. So they found 2 trash heaps, and you can tell everything about the person from the trash. So the students were just practicing, playing around. When next to the farm, they found some more foundations. They found foundations of a barn from the 19th century, something from the 18th and 17th century, including lots of Belgian pipes, smoking pipes. And they were really happy with that until they found a cabin from the 16th century. Then in the hill next to the cow house, a cabin from the 14th century. Over here with the yellow grass, 12th century, which is our Civil War era. And most recently, what's turfed over here, cabin from the 9th century. So this might be one of the original settler locations, one of the first locations settled in Iceland. So they haven't excavated yet. They first have to excavate the earliest archaeology sites, and then they can get to the real treasure, which is over here.
Hello.
Iceland.
Don't you speak Icelandic?
No, I'm from a country.
Hún sé úr Sigga. Nei, Siggadóttir, þau fóru til mástu.
All the way through from Siberia, through the Arctic, and to the north of Iceland. Because Iceland doesn't have any wood to build with, it's barely anything here. So all wood has to be either imported, which is very expensive, or you can collect it from the shores. The church in there is Lutheran. It's still in commission. An hour ago we had a christening in there. Last week we had a wedding. And it also spent some decades as sleeping quarters. So the podium, that used to be a milk cabinet. There are still hinges in the back. And it would have been a place of congregation in times of crisis. Like right now, we have the volcano over there. People from all over the county would have gathered in there just to have a meeting. Yeah, it's still in commission. Someone was asking about the quarters at the back. The section at the back is only for wealthy farmers and merchants. So if you had more money, you got to be closer to God. There are also two other pews next to the podium. There's the pew of shame, so some sinner would sit there. And then next to that is the pew for unmarried young women. So all the guys sitting there could take a good look. But now I'm going to take you back to the square.
Here, it's still very much a working harbor. You can see there are some fishing trawlers that are located on the far side of the harbor. They go out and catch fish, mostly cod and haddock that is caught out in the bay and beyond that area. And it's brought in and